Some of you don't need another tutorial. You already know exactly what you want to do with your life, but you just don't trust yourself enough to do it. And weirdly enough, Caroline Channing explained this better than any self-help book I've read on this topic. Not because she became a millionaire again, because spoiler alert, she didn't. We didn't even make it to season 7. But despite everything, at the end, she still managed to establish herself as an ambitious, disgustingly educated, self-made businesswoman. If you've never seen the show Two Broke Girls, you're probably asking yourself already, who is Caroline Channing? Caroline Channing was a millionaire living a luxury life in Manhattan. But after her father was exposed for financial fraud, her whole family, including Caroline, was left with nothing. Suddenly, she had to start from zero and build her way up. That's when she met her roommate Max and started working at the Williamsburg Diner as a waitress. I know what you might be wondering. Why would I ever strive to think more like Caroline Channing? This sounds terrible. Well, I think you might have more things in common with Caroline than you think. See, Caroline had a dream and she was willing to work for it. She wanted to make herself successful again together with her roommate Max and turn that cupcake business into something big. But this time through her own ideas, hard work and ambition, which she had plenty of. Caroline had a crappy apartment, a crappy job. She didn't have the perfect plan. She became broke overnight and she had no social status whatsoever to rely on. But she kept going anyway. Yes, she was complaining and whining here and there, but she never lost her ability to rebuild and adapt, even when things stopped looking glamorous. Caroline most definitely had her share of embarrassing moments, but she is so real for that because we all have those. We just hope nobody saw them. I loved her character because she was so serious about her dreams, but she was so unserious when it came to life. She taught me a lot about myself, about my life and achieving goals. I worked all kinds of jobs. I was in sales, customer service, I was waitressing, I was selling shoes, you name it, I did it. And trust me, I like those jobs as much as Caroline did. I didn't. But I was still constantly chasing the perfect 9-to-5 job because I desperately wanted to work and get a degree in marketing. That's the first time I noticed that I unlocked my inner Caroline Channing because life was not working out for me. I was not getting interviews. I was not even getting invited to them. I got so many "we regret to inform you" emails that I could make a collage out of it. Maybe I will. Let me know if you want to see that. And when things didn't work out the way I imagined, I could have taken that as a proof that my dreams were not meant for me. But let me tell you, mama didn't raise no quitter. After many painful years, I had this realization, and I had to dig really deep for this one. But I realized that I worked all these jobs, switched them every year, because I thought I wanted to figure out what I really wanted to do in life. Even though I knew exactly to the last detail what I wanted to do. I was just so terrified about what people might say and what would actually happen if I even tried. I spent so many years romanticizing my dream life, romanticizing my future self, and I could see her so vividly, but I didn't trust my current self enough to build her. And that is exactly where I draw the line. I stopped waiting because I hated being on the mercy of other people and other companies, just hoping someone would employ me so I don't have to be stuck at a job I don't even like and that doesn't fulfill me. And just like that, I started my own business where I could do marketing, where I could create, do analytics, and all the other things I love. Now, if you're someone like me, you probably know as well what your dream life looks like. You know what you want. And achieving that thing is not a matter of lack of information because we have so many resources nowadays. You already know the how. You know the business you would start, content you would create, the city you would move to. You already know the person you'd like to become. And you think about this all the time. Think about it day and night at work, before you go to sleep, while scrolling. Maybe you even bought all the things already, all the equipment you need. You bought the journal, the camera, the domain, the course, and you came to the point where you're writing down your game plan and you have everything figured out on paper, right? And then nothing happens. Not because you're lazy, because the moment the execution starts, the fear starts as well. Overthinking, the doubt, the what will people think, what will people say, the fear of being seen, the fear of failing publicly, the fear that maybe you're not capable of becoming this person you dream of being. And then suddenly your dream becomes just another idea sitting in your notebook, in your journal, in your notes app, and life keeps moving without you. But now we can ask ourselves, what would Caroline Channing do? She is truly the definition of self-trust. despite your circumstances. So here's what I think she would do. Now, just for the sake of this argument, let's say you want to become a content creator. Instead of thinking that she needs millions of followers or that she needs to publish 200 plus videos in order to become a content creator, Caroline knows that she doesn't even need a one single follower. She just needs to hit record, edit, and publish that video, and that already makes her a content creator. In our society, it's normal, and no one will ridicule you for wanting to become a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, because it fits in a certain box. But once you tell people that you want to become a CEO, a content creator, a YouTuber, that you want to start your own business, it triggers many people. So they will tell you it's unrealistic, it's not a real job, because people don't like different. They don't like extraordinary. And that is exactly where most people fail. Not because they are untalented or incapable of achieving their goals, whatever they might be, but because they are so afraid to be seen. What I loved about Caroline and her character so much is that she represents something so many people secretly crave. She wasn't afraid to do something out of the ordinary. She wasn't afraid to fail publicly or be seen as a beginner. She used every single event, every single crappy, weird job, every single interaction as an opportunity to come closer to her dream. Most importantly, she did all of this because she believed her life could change. She always had the CEO millionaire mindset, even when she had no money, even when her circumstances were bad and not ideal. She showed that you don't need to have millions in order to have a rich mindset, but you do need a rich mindset in order to get the millions. Literally and metaphorically speaking. Think about it. Caroline went from being a millionaire to being a waitress in some dusty diner. Her life completely fell apart. Imagine losing everything overnight. Your apartment, your status, your rich friends. And the next morning you're serving fries in a diner wearing a yellow uniform. And yet she never lost that ambitious part of herself. She still pitched ideas, she still chased opportunities, she still believed her life could become something bigger. Even when it looked embarrassing, even when things weren't looking glamorous, even when she failed, she refused to let her bad circumstances define her identity. That makes her the ultimate goal achiever. And that is the difference between people who eventually change their lives and the people who are stuck fantasizing about it forever. Now, enough chit chat. I need something from you, but more importantly, you need something from you. I want you to leave a comment telling me what you really want to do with your life. Not what sounds realistic, not what other people expect from you, not what makes other people feel better about themselves. What do you dream about constantly? If limiting beliefs, if other people's opinions, if money wasn't the issue, what would you really be doing? Because admitting your true desires is the first step to changing your life. When you truly want something, when you burn for it, when you're passionate about it, you will find a way to do it eventually. Even if you start without a perfect plan, even if it's messy, even if nobody understands it yet. Because if you watch this video till the end, by now you already know all the secrets of the ultimate goal achiever. And if you get stuck, ask yourself, what will Caroline Channing do? Because she was the pro in that.